Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole. You can find me on Instagram at Nicole Makes Plans and my website at nicolemakesplans.com. Today I wanted to do kind of a different video, kind of more related to budgeting. If you're interested in budgeting videos, I'm trying to get into that, and if you have any videos you'd like to see, just let me know. This is going to be kind of like a weekly spending check-in for kind of like the very end of July and early August. So I'll just hop right in, and I have these like envelopes just covering it up so I can kind of recount each thing. So the first thing on this list was gas for my car, and it was $26.05. I got it at Kroger. And same day, like right after that, we went to the grocery store at Kroger to get food for the week, so that came up to $56.10. Same day for probably for lunch, I think I got Skyline, and that was $7.09. And then other in this category, I don't really do sinking funds, or at least not yet. So I kind of just have this other category that's kind of a catch-all for everything. I try to rank it by priority. So like the top of that would be like toiletries or household things. And then other stuff would be like fun things. And if there's like a small bill that comes up, I try to add it to that category rather than taking it out of savings. So this is what that looks like. So in this other category, I bought an app, which I think this is the first app I ever bought. It's just basically like a digital way to keep track of these variable spending envelopes. So my variable spending falls into gas, food, and other. So I find it easier to kind of keep track of that as I'm on the go spending money, rather than kind of like recounting it in here. This is kind of just like a log of what happens. So that was only $1.06, and I think it was totally worth it. That same day, for another category as well, Pirate Ship is like a website I use to print off shipping labels, and I bought a shipping label for $7.25. And I think that was for a D-stash situation, but I can't remember. So for this, on August the 2nd, from the other category, I went on Amazon and I bought a planner that I think I've since returned, and I think that's why I put this asterisk by it. I still ended up counting it into my spending, I think, even though I ultimately returned it, because I still want to like stay within my budget, whether or not I make returns. And if I do make returns, great, it's extra savings. So that's kind of what that looks like. From here, on August the 2nd as well, also from the other category, my sister wanted me to pick up some sunscreen from Trader Joe's, so I did that, and she ended up paying me back for it, so I subtracted that out ultimately. But again, still trying to stick within the budget regardless if I'm getting paid back for things or returning things. On August the 5th, from the food category, we went back to Kroger, which is a grocery store, and spent $13.01. This was for pasta salad ingredients for like a family party we had that weekend. On August the 6th, in the food category, we went to a place for brunch, and I spent $23.75. This paid for both me and my boyfriend. And my sister was in town this week, so we wanted to kind of eat out instead of eating in. So that is what that looks like. For the food category, I include both groceries and going out to eat at restaurants or getting takeout and everything. There's definitely weeks where I spend more on groceries and less on eating out, and then vice versa. So for me, I think it's easiest to just have one food category, but maybe that'll change over time. And then the last thing I spent this week, which was on August the 6th, which was a Saturday, from the food category again, picked up Philly Pretzel Factory pretzels for $7. Brought that to the party as like an appetizer, and then that pasta salad was like a side for what we had for dinner. So that is what that looked like. So I ended up spending a total of $190 for the week. and 52 cents amongst all of these variable spending categories. And I'm going to flip back here to show kind of like how that went with my budget. So this is kind of what this looks like for me. This is my weekly check-in. So this is week 1 of like this paycheck. And I considered it like week 1 of August. So in the food category, I budgeted $100. I ended up spending $106.95. So I went $6.95 over. For gas, I budgeted $25. I spent $26.05, so I went over by $1.05. In the other category, I budgeted $100.25 for the week. I ended up only spending $57.52, so I had $67.48 left over. So total budget for all of these variable spending categories, I budgeted $250 for all of them. Total, I spent $190.52, and total left over was $59.48. I would say for me, like, I don't really care too much that I went over in these two categories because I kind of had more than enough to make it up here. So I'm kind of just like looking at the overall picture, not necessarily individually. That's where I'm at right now. That could change. So I'm also going to go over my spending for the second week of this paycheck. So basically between these two, you might notice that I do like groceries and maybe household toiletry items and gas all on Sunday. And that's why I start my spending log on Sunday, because then it makes it easier for the rest of the week. I know what I have left instead of trying to save it for the end of the week. So the first expense that week was gas at Kroger, and it was $28.76. The second expense was food category, Kroger for groceries. I spent $48.06. In the other category, went to Walmart and got stuff for $34.06. I think this was mostly like getting more stuff for around the house, like cleaning supplies or toiletries. I think I may have gotten like a notebook, but I don't think it was too much. So that was $34. From the other category as well, I ended up going to Barnes & Noble's and I got another bullet journal from the Leuchtturm brand, but I ended up returning it, so that's what that star means. From the food category, I went to Meijer and spent $7.18. This specifically was on creamer just because it was so much at Kroger, so I went to a different grocery store to get that. And I ended up getting like 2 or 3 of them, so that was a better price. The same day on August the 7th, in the food category, I got DeBella's, which was for lunch, and it was $7.69. And then for dinner that same day, for food category, went to Taco Bell and got 3 tacos, and it was $5.07. Same day in the other category, I ended up getting something on Amazon for $38.29. I think it was more planners. Again, the asterisk means I end up returning it, but for the sake of this like spending check-in, I still wanted to log it and include it. And then in the other category on Pirate Ship, I spent $7.98. I think this was to ship a book to my sister. So that is what that shipping label was for. From here, on the 8th of August, in the other category, I did a D-stash and I sold some stickers. So this was a positive here. And I got $25 for all the stickers. On August 10th, from the other category, I got a t-shirt for $9.61 from Sticker Mule. They do like customizable things and they run deals sometimes, so I thought it was a good deal to get a custom shirt for less than $10. Didn't really need it, but it was fun. Why not? From the food category on August 10th, got Flying Dragon for $34.33. That was for me, my mom, and my mom's friend, and they ended up paying me back for their portion. So these were positive. They paid me back $10 for their meals. And then on August 13th, from the food category, I got Fusion. This was a Saturday. I had to work that day for 4 hours in the morning, so I wanted something quick after lunch, and I spent $12.94 on sushi. So total among all of that was $216.67. And then I did want to note on this week, I had this like, I don't want to say a surprise, but like a tax thing that came up that I owed money for, and it was $253.90. So I took that as savings. I didn't include that from the spending category. Again, I want to try to pull small bills from other spending, but not necessarily big bills that come up. So I just took this out of savings. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe that's like cheating my budget, but it is what it is. So based on that, this is kind of how that week went overall. For the category of food, I budgeted $100. I spent $95.27. I had a balance of $4.73 left over. In gas, I budgeted $25 for my car. I ended up spending $28.76, and that means I went $3.76 over. In the other category, I budgeted $125 and I ended up spending $92.64, and I still had $32.36 left over. So my total budget for variable spending was $250, and then I spent $218, and I kind of like ended up rounding these off for the sake of my paycheck budget, just because I want to use like round numbers for that and not have to include the cents. I have enough in savings that a little bit of fluctuation doesn't make a whole lot of difference for me. So total balance, I still had $33.33 left over in this variable spending. So overall for this paycheck period of 2 weeks, for food, I budgeted $200 total. I spent $203 total, so I went $3 over overall. For gas, I budgeted $50, spent $56, went $6 over. In the other category, I budgeted $250, spent $151, and I had $99 left over. So total budget for all of these categories for 2 weeks was $500. I spent $410, and I had $90 left over. And that is what my spending check-in kind of looked like for these 2 weeks in August. If you're interested in what the budget like closeout for this paycheck looks like, let me know. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like this budgeting kind of content in my bullet journal. Comment if you have any questions or want other budget types of videos I can film. Subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content, and click the notification bell if you want to know the next time I post a video, because it's not always on the same day. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.